Hello children, and welcome to the pencil shading technique class. Here you can see few tones are there. Tones means this is lighter tone, then a bit of darker and comparably more darker, then the more darker, then this one and the darkest one. Similarly, there are basically 5 shading techniques are there. First one is hatching, second one is cross hatching, third one is stripling, and fourth one is smudging, and fifth one is scrambling. So the process of hatching is very easy. You have to use single lines. You can see on particular angles. All the lines are separated. The more distance in the line, the lighter tone you will be getting. And here I have used a bit of pressure and changed the distance. Means the distance between two lines is little bit closer, so you will feel the difference. Similarly, in this thing, more closer lines and a bit of more pressure, again more closer line and more pressure comparatively to this one, and this one you can see the darkest one. So using lines, single lines, this technique is hatching, not that egg hatching, okay, it's a hatching. Next is cross hatching. The similar process you have used in hatching. Now this time you have to use cross lines, means on this angle suppose you have used the pencil, now this time you have to use over that this shading technique, means like this lines, okay, and lighter tone, darker tone, medium tone, sorry, lighter tone, then comparatively much a bit of darker tone, again darker, more darker, and the darkest tone. But the process is cross, you have to use cross lines, okay. Next one is stippling. Stippling, all of you are knowing, just putting dots like stippling. This is the process, okay. You have to stipple. So more the distance between the dots, you will get lighter tone, and the darker tone you will getting by putting dots closer, okay. Now this is smudging process, or you can say blending process also, okay. So here you have to hold the pencil like this and use it very softly. Do not use the point. Use the pencil by sloping it and use it lighter. Don't give pressure for the lighter tone, a bit more pressure comparatively to this tone, and in this way the more pressure you are giving, the much more darker tone you are getting, okay. And at last you have to take a piece of paper or something and softly blend it, okay. You have to use the paper for blending. So if you are not blending, that one is tonal expression, and if you are using the bit of paper and rubbing on the pencil, then it will be smudging. So this for smooth painting, for smooth surfaces, you can use this one. For textural surfaces, you can use this thing. Last one is scrambling, means just you have to use pencil like this, crossing the lighter tone you will be getting by applying light pressure, and gradually you have to use pressure on your pencil for getting darker tone. So these are the basic techniques for applying shading to any object. Here I have drawn, you can see circle. So let's start with a say hatching process. So circle, first of all, the source of light you have to identify. Suppose from this area the source of light is coming, okay. So you have to find out, as it is spherical in shape, so the lightest area will be this, okay. By leaving this area, I'm going to start the hatching process. This is how I am using the lines only. This is the process of using lines, and this area also I will use lines, small lines. Now this is the first tone. You have to use, for a bit more darker tone, you have to use few more lines over it, like this you can use. Okay, and try to use the lines a bit speedily to get smart lines, okay, forceful lines. Here you can see the light area, the medium area, and you can use dark tone. Here I am going to use for darkest tone, 9B, and I was using this, an ordinary pencil, for the lighter tone. So now again I am using lines for getting the shape of a sphere, as it is a spherical shape, as you now see. Again I am going to use lines on the same angle. This is the process of hatching. In this way we are going to get the dark tone also. Okay, now checking the drawing also. Few more tones should be in the upside to get a proper sphere. Tonal variations, here you can see, here lighter, medium, dark, darker, darkest. So lightest, lighter, medium, then dark, and darkest we will be doing. Okay, so on the dark area again I'm actually applying a bit more pressure here, okay, to get the medium dark tone, and a spherical shading is coming out, circular shading. And the darkest tone I will use small strokes like this, like this, and the lines are there. Okay, again you can use for much more darker. In this way, gradually the entire spherical circle will come out. You can see again darker. Do not leave edges, okay, try to cover it with lines. This is how we can get the shape of a sphere. Now cross hatching. Cross hatching is similar process. You have to use the same thing. Suppose light is coming from this side, so the lighter area will be this side and the darker area will be this side. So using light lines over here first, and on the dark side I will use dark lines by applying pressure on the pencil. So this side will be lighter. Now you have to use cross shading. Okay, you can use this side also, or you can use this side. So lines should be crossed. Okay, you can you can see gradually I'm trying to get the spherical shape by applying the lines which are cross to each other. Okay, and now as this side will be darker, again I will use the same line, but this time a bit of pressure, and again from this side also to get a bit more dark tone. Right, yes, again if you want more dark tone, then again use same lines. Okay, and again use cross lines. Likewise, you can see the volume almost has came. More you observe, more your skill will develop. Okay, so this practice actually we are trying to develop our skill. So this is cross hatching. Now stippling will take time, so I will show you smudging first. Let's start smudging as I told you. So suppose this time again the light is coming from this side, or this side, suppose the light is coming, so the lighter part will be this area and the darker will be just opposite to this. Okay, so in this case you have to hold the pencil like this and softly you can apply the shading technique like this. This is the first tone. Okay, now you can use a piece of paper. I'm just using my finger to blend it. Now this is how. For smooth objects you can use this technique. Okay, again trying to use a bit more darker tone, but this time I'm not applying much more pressure as I'm using soft pencil. It's B series pencil, so as it holds more graphite, so there's no need to use much more pressure. This is how gradually. Now again I'm using a bit pressure this time to get the third tone here. Now again use cloth is better. Okay, but in this way gradually you will get try to soften the edges. Okay, so now the opposite side, try to maintain the drawing. This time I am using a bit more pressure to get more dark tone. you can see this is the drawing. So again, for more dark tone you have to use more pressure. You can use the pencil from any angle, okay, you can use it like this also for maintaining the outer surface. So you have to take much more care, okay. Now again taking care of the drawing. Most of the smooth surfaces, suppose you want to show the skin of a child, so you can use this technique. And now again I'm going to use much more pressure here to get more dark tone. You can see. So gradually you have to increase the darkness, okay, not at once. And again you can use the cloth or something for softening the edges. Now you can erase the highlighted area like this for getting the topmost light, you can see, and you can erase the outer area also to maintain the drawing, okay. So this is how we can get smooth texture. More dark you want, then more tones you required. You can see I am using once again here for more darker tone. Here. Again soften the edges, likewise this, okay. So this is the process of smudging or soft blending, okay. Now one more here, we will use scrambling, okay. It's very interesting. Suppose from the top the source of light is coming, okay. So in this case the lighter area will be on the top side. So just start scrambling like this to get a different texture. It's not a smooth surfaced sphere, okay. So in this way you can use the process, and gradually we will decrease the darkness by applying a bit of pressure, gradually, not at once, okay. Here you can see I am increasing the pressure in the bottom side as the source of light is from the top. So here now taking care of the outline. Now much more darker, much more pressure. For getting the darker tone, this area you have to use lighter, and gradually the lighter tone goes upwards. You can see I'm using a bit more pressure here. So almost done. If you need more dark or feels that blackish color is there, then you have to use much more darker tone. Means you have to apply more times, but be sure that your pencil should be soft pencil. I am using, that you can see crystalline graphite lead of Camlin. Okay, it's 9B. It will be very difficult to get this kind of dark tone by using simple pencils. Okay, so I will prefer to use this B series pencil. Now you can erase it. And lastly, on the next video I will show you this stippling process. Okay, so that's it. Now come to the shadow. If you want to create shadow, then you have to follow the angle of the light. It will be just opposite to the, as it is spherical in shape, so shadow will be like this. And you can use straight lines here. You can change the lines also like this. And gradually it will be lighter. The place where the ground is touching is a bit darker tone. If you'll observe it, you will find, and gradually it will be vanishing from both sides. Okay, and this is how. Again, if you want more darker shadow, then simply use more lines, but single lines. Okay, gradually it will be decreasing. Likewise, you can see. And cross shading, as the source of light is from this side, the shadow will go to that side like this. Okay, this is, and again use the lines. A bit pressure I am giving here, and gradually I will release the pressure. And distance. So as this is the area where the, let's you can change, for getting better angle and distance in this way. Now again use much more pressure to get dark tone and gradually decrease the pressure. Again cross it, and release the pressure like this. Okay, now erase the unnecessary lines. This is the process of cross hatching. Okay, over and over you can use lines. Now here, as the source of light is coming from this side, so the shadow will be just opposite the object like this. Okay, and as the ball is touching to this area, so the process I told you earlier, give a bit pressure on the area where the sphere is touching the ground, and gradually you have to decrease the pressure on this side. So you can see the shadow, and rub it. Erase the unwanted lines here, and same as the source of light is coming from this side, so the shadow will be a bit angle is there, na? Look, the source of light is coming from this side, so the shadow will be drawn into that shadow like this. Okay, so again scramble on the surface. You have to use much more pressure, taking care of the outline, and gradually decrease the pressure. So take care of the shape so that it looks like an oval, like this. Again, if you need more darker, so more pressure is required, and then you will release the pressure gradually, like this. Erase the underlines. So let's see how it looks. Now see the four objects. I'm zooming out a bit. You can see this is how a pencil shading technique works. Okay, you can use a bit more pressure to eyes coming out now. So let's use more pressure here and gradually decrease the pressure while moving to the top side. That's it. So this is the entire process. Hope you understood, and let's start. Okay, so best of luck. Thank you.